This video is about getting the most out of a textbook. Textbooks can be overwhelming and cover a lot of information. This video will teach you how to become an active reader and provide strategies to help you read textbooks more effectively. Effective reading strategies can ensure that you understand course material, come to class prepared, and perform better on class assignments and tests. Take a moment to think about your experience with reading in your college courses. Do you ever feel overwhelmed with the amount of information your textbooks contain? Do you have a hard time figuring out what is important? Reading for academic purposes is different than reading for pleasure. When reading a textbook, using reading strategies will help you with efficiency. The first thing you want to do is get to know your textbook. You can use the index to find topics of interest quickly. They are all alphabetized, so it makes it easy to find what you're looking for. You can use sticky notes to mark quotes or passages that you might want to use for research. Look for end of chapter summaries and vocabulary lists. These can help you when you are studying for tests. Check for a glossary so you can look up unfamiliar words quickly. Another thing to do is check to see if your textbook is available as an audiobook or use software that can read your text aloud. The main goal of your reading assignments is to connect ideas on the page to what you already know. Once you've formed a connection to the information, it will be easier to remember the information. So, the next step is to learn how to become an active reader. In this video, we're going to talk about 4 main reading strategies: previewing the text, forming questions, annotating as you read, and reviewing what you read. The first strategy is previewing the text. Before you start to read, skim through the chapter. Look at the section headings, bold print, italicized words, charts, and graphs. Previewing the text will give you a basic outline of what the reading will be about. This will give you the big picture, so as you're reading, you can start to fill in the details. The next active reading strategy is to form questions. If your text has headings, turn them into questions and answer them. Once you've turned the headings into a question, you can underline or highlight parts of the text or take notes that answer your question. Here's an example of turning headings into questions. The heading for this paragraph is stress reduction techniques. So a question we could ask about this are, what are some ways to reduce stress? So as you read, you're looking for the answer to that question. The next active reading strategy is annotating what you read. So you can highlight keywords and phrases or major ideas. And in order to avoid highlighting everything, read the entire section a first time and then watch for transitional words, such as first, next, and finally. These are signal words that the author is moving to another key point. Look up unknown words and then paraphrase a paragraph or small section of the text. Use your own words to summarize what you read. Here are some examples of marks and symbols to use while you're annotating a text. You can use a star to star important information, highlight key ideas or phrases, circle unknown words, use a question mark if you have questions about the text, use a C when you make a connection to the text, and those could be connections to self, to the text, to the world. Use a plus sign if you agree with a statement or idea, and a subtraction sign if you disagree with a statement or idea. Here's an example of an annotated text. There's highlighted key points. There's a star next to important information. Unfamiliar words are circled and then defined. There's a C for a connection to the text, a question mark for questions about the text, and then on the right side, there's a short summary about the text. The last active reading strategy is to review what you read. After you finish reading, you can summarize the text in your own words or discuss what you've learned with someone else. Test yourself on the questions you've created based on the headings, and also look for links and connections between the text and your experiences, thoughts, ideas, and other texts. The more connections you can make with a text, the more likely you will remember the information. Here is a textbook, notes, and self-assessment. This gives you tips before, during, and after your reading. You can find a copy of this in the resources for this video. Here are some general tips and strategies for reading a textbook. 1, give yourself plenty of time to read the assignment. It's helpful to break up the reading into small sections. Instead of trying to read a 50-page chapter all at once, think of it as 5 sections of 10 pages apiece, and make sure to take a break between each section. You can read aloud to yourself or to someone else. Make sure you check for understanding. As you read, ask yourself if you understand what is being communicated. If not, go back and reread. Also, ask for help in the TAAC. Make an appointment at the TAAC with an academic coach at the Brighton or downtown campus.